Hey everyone, welcome back to the Dividend Depot. I'm Chuck. In this video, I'm going to continue to update you on the family's discussion about our AT&T holdings. So here we go. At the time of this recording, shares of AT&T had lost 1.12% over the past month, lagging behind the computer and technology sector's loss of only 0.06%. This also lagged behind the S&P 500's gain of 1.32% during the same time period. We have been hoping for strength from AT&T going into its next earning period around April. But let's be honest, AT&T has so much debt, it just needs to become a bank. And the even crazier part is AT&T increased its debt by $14 billion as it tries to upgrade its 5G network. However, some of our dividend family thinks that since 80% of AT&T's profit are from wireless, that this is a good thing. If you watched part 1 of this video, you know some members had concerns about AT&T since we lost about $5 a share from our AT&T holdings. These members are concerned with the boatloads of debt AT&T has taken on. It just shelled out money for a cable network / film studio, which we're required to spend out the wazoo to keep the business going. This debt, along with the $20 billion analysts possibly think AT&T spent on mid-band spectrum for their wireless network, will possibly crush them in the long run. Another point that came up in our discussions, AT&T just wrote a $15.5 billion impairment charge. They wrote it off. You know, an impairment charge. That's where the company writes off worthless intangible assets. Yeah, an impairment charge. This $15.5 billion that it just wrote off was tied to the video business, the same business that lost 7.4 million subscribers over the last 2 years, the same business that stopped selling its virtual live TV called AT&T TV. So then, after these points were discussed, someone said, hey, what about HBO? What about it? So that's when we got into the wannabe Netflix side of the business. HBO Max, it launched last year. I've looked at it once or twice. I'm in the middle of Harley Quinn's The Animated Series, and I'm rewatching Samurai Jack. HBO Max now has over 41 million US subscribers after it released Wonder Woman, and struck a deal with Roku on distribution. To my surprise, as well as AT&T's, they had added subscribers faster than they expected. Another thing that was surprising, AT&T has shelled out over $20 million to Gal Gadot and Patty Jenkins to change the release strategy for Wonder Woman. Surprise, surprise. During our long discussion about Wonder Woman, Son number 2 also brought up the point that DC is moving a lot of its content to HBO Max. And on top of that, AT&T might be creating a cheaper version of the HBO Max app. This cheaper version will support advertising. So many of our members believe that by putting all of its content on HBO Max and supporting advertising through the app, this might help this side of AT&T's business. So, even after discussing all of this, our family hasn't come to a consensus about whether to sell or add to AT&T. Comment below to tell us your thoughts. And to all our dividend family members, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night.